I want to talk about the concept of compound interest. I want to talk about compound interest and how you can extrapolate that to your YouTube journey or any other challenges that you're facing or any other pursuits that you are going for in your life. Now, what is compound interest? Imagine if you put money in a savings account that has an interest rate. Right now, the interest rates are very high. Just as a segue, the interest rates are very high right now. And so if you have a chunk of money and you're trying to figure out what you want to do, you're trying to figure out how you want to invest that money, right? But you don't want to make a hasty decision. It's very easy if you come upon a windfall. It's very easy to get caught up in a scam, right? Because somebody gonna say, okay, try to tap in on this crypto scheme or whatever it is, and then you don't do your due diligence, you don't do your history, you don't do your homework, you don't do your research, and you could end up losing that money. You could end up making money, but you could also end up losing that money, right? Because some of these things like crypto and a lot of other, I'm not just trying to pick on crypto because I know some people have had success with crypto, but a lot of it is very risky. A lot of these investment strategies or these get rich quick, these promises that you're gonna get a big return on your investment very quickly. A lot of them are scams, and you can end up, if you do manage to come upon a lot of money at one time, if you're lucky enough to come upon a lot of money and you fall for one of these scams, you can lose your money, right? So anyway, if you do happen to come up on if you do happen to get into a nice chunk of change, a nice chunk of money, before you make a decision about how to reinvest that money, because you want to enjoy yourself, you want to spend a little bit, yes, all that is great, but you really want to try to use that money to make more money for you. That's like really, really important for you to do that, right? So while you're figuring out to do what to do with the money, it's not a bad idea to invest it to open up a savings account with a high yield interest rate. And right now is the perfect opportunity to do so because interest rates are very high right now. So, if you have a lot of credit cards, that's a bad thing. But if you have a chunk of money and you open up a savings account with a high yield interest rate, that's a good thing for you. That money, what the money you put in, granted you don't withdraw it, you just park it there and you leave it, can make a lot of money for you in the long term. So I say this to try to explain how the concept of compound interest, how you can use the idea of compound interest in other areas of your life. For example, DoorDash is really, really exploding right now. I think we all can say that DoorDash has a lot. There are so many of us who decided to go ahead and take the plunge and turn on the camera because of the inspirational message that she gave to us, right? In her videos. Her videos are really raw, really authentic. And I saw another YouTuber just maybe a few hours ago. I think his name was something another Philly, but anyway, I apologize if I got his name wrong, but he was saying that look, DoeDash's success is not, don't be under the misconception that she's an overnight success. There's a saying in Hollywood where they say it took me 20 years to become an overnight success, right? Nobody, more than, unless you like win the lottery. And even then, even people who win the lottery, usually they've been playing for many, many years, right? So there is no such thing as an overnight success. If you go back to DoeDash's, if you look on her page, she has been posting videos for years. And what you are seeing now is the reaping of those seeds that she sowed all those years ago. And this perfectly describes the concept of compound interest. Just like when you leave that money in the bank, in that high yield savings account, and it starts to gradually increase interest, and you know, you just park that money there, you go back a year later, 2 years later, and boom, you have a lot more money than when you started. It's the same thing with your YouTube channel and any other thing that you're going through. If you put in the work consistently, it's going to compound into the result that you're looking for. But if you stop, then you're just pretty much going to get what you put in. So if you only post once a month, well, then you're going to get back what you put in. You're only going to see, you're not going to be seen too much. The algorithm is not going to pick you up too much. People are not going to see you as a result. But if you post consistently and you don't have a feeling of entitlement, that is to say, oh, you know, why am I not blowing up right away? As long as you don't harbor those feelings of entitlement and you keep on posting, you don't worry about if nobody is watching, just keep on posting. And the compound effect is going to guarantee you that eventually you are going to see the results that you want. But that might mean, it might mean years. You have to accept that might mean years. That might mean you posting a video every day for the next year, 2 years, 3 years. Maybe it might be less for you. It might be 6 months and before you actually really start to see some traction. But the point is, you have to start now. And the idea that you have to wait to see success is very much of a deterrent for a lot of people, because in this part of our instant gratification society tells us that, you know, if we don't see the results we want right away, then, you know, switch to something else or switch to, and then we end up like never really getting anywhere because we don't stick with things long enough to see it to fruition. So you have to get rid of the instant gratification mindset and understand that you're in it for the long haul, which means you are going to set a posting schedule. You're going to post 2-3 videos a day, every day, or you try your best not to miss a day. You know, things can happen, but if you miss a day, next day you get right back into it. You don't allow yourself to fall into the habit of not posting, because then you're going to stop posting. You're probably going to abandon it. If you stick with it, just like DoeDash, it will happen for you. If you stick with it and you find your people, you get your audience, it will happen. It will happen for you. I mean, some people were like, I saw a comment on that same YouTuber's video where they said, oh, it's not consistency, it's the quality of the content. Yeah, the quality of the content, but if you're not consistent, you're not going to get the practice in order to get the quality. It's through practice that you get better and better, and you're gonna get practice from being consistent. So And also, you know, quality is subjective. What's interesting to me might not be interesting to somebody else. So YouTube is a vast universe out there. We're talking about something like 5 billion uploads a day on YouTube, 3 billion active YouTubers. So it's like a huge universe out there. Even if somebody might think your content isn't quality, there's somebody else who is going to think your content is quality. So, you know, I believe that consistency is the key. Stay consistent. And one last thing about the compound effect, you can also extrapolate that to the idea of working out. I'm about to go work out right now. I'm about to go run on the track. If you work out every day, if you set a schedule to work out every day, you are just like the compound effect. After a while, it's going to compound into the result that you want. But if you stop, then it's going to slow down, or you might even go backwards. So just to leave you with that message, the compound effect, it works. Have a good night.